Hey folks, it's Matt once again, and I actually did another review that you'll see later. And I mentioned how I'm a little under the weather. Whether it's that or allergies, whatever it is, but right now it's more of a coughing thing. So bear with me on that. But starting my reviews of the Beverly Hills Cop films, starting with the first film. Now I reviewed these films a long time ago, about 4 years ago, but I wanted to re-review them since I have unlimited time limit, better camera, and rewatch these again because I wanted to rewatch these again. And Beverly Hills Cop, watch this again. First off, it's still a classic. Second off, I know there was that TV show they wanted to do that was going to be Axel Foley's son, but it didn't get picked up. Now there's talks of a part 4. Oh, we might start filming this summer. Yeah, along with Ghostbusters 3. And I don't even know if I want to see a part 4. I mean, I don't know. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't curious about it, but I don't know. I miss this Eddie Murphy. I miss this. Where is this Eddie Murphy at? How come we haven't seen this Eddie Murphy in decades? Because Eddie Murphy, straight out, I enjoy the guy's early work. But the last good film he did, I mean, Tower Heist, I did that review of Tower Heist, and I'm like, sort of wishy-washy review. That was sort of my reaction. Disappointing when you look at the cast. Ben Stiller, Matthew Broderick, Eddie Murphy. You had quite a few people in that film. Uh, didn't see Dreamgirls, but the plot just doesn't interest me. I'm sure Eddie Murphy does a fine job, just the plot doesn't interest me. Norbit, I fucking hated. I'm not a fan of the Night Professor films. I never have been. Just never have been. Dr. Dolittle films are there for kids' movies. At least the first one. See, Norbit sucked. Bowfinger was okay at best, but well, first that's more Steve Martin's movie, and B, it was just okay at best. Shrek, I've never been a big Shrek guy. I don't mind Shrek and Shrek 2, and I just never been a big Shrek guy. Like, I'm fine with watching them once or twice, and that's it. I just never been a big Shrek guy. Imagine that sucked ass. Meet Dave sucked ass. So I mean, Showtime and I Spy, or at least Showtime is watchable. Like, I can watch Showtime with Eddie Murphy and Robert De Niro. I can watch the film. I Spy, a little bit less, but it's it's not that funny though. It's the problem. So I mean, where is this Eddie Murphy at? Pluto Nash sucked ass. Vampire Brooklyn sucks ass. I miss this Eddie Murphy. I miss Eddie Murphy that makes me laugh and edgy and just fresh and making good movies. I mean, 48 Hours, Trading Places, another 48 Hours, The Golden Child, which is my personal favorite. I'm sorry. That film gets a lot of shit. It's better than any Eddie Murphy in the past 20 years. For me, the last good Eddie Murphy film for me is Metro. Because that was R-rated, sort of as edgy of an Eddie Murphy, at least compared to fucking Night Professor and Norbit, which is stupid. And compared to Shrek, and Imagine That, and The Haunted Mansion, that's another one that sucked ass. Metro was like, wow, he's actually R-rated again. You could say it's a little bit more of an action film than comedy, but I still found bits of it funny as well. Like Metro, I really enjoy. I think I did a review of Metro. I know it's one I would not mind doing again because I enjoyed Metro. But Beverly Hills Cop, yeah, I miss this Eddie Murphy, directed by Martin Brest, which I know the thing with this movie, at first, it was going to be a film starring Mickey Rourke, but then that didn't work out, and then it got offered to Stallone, Sylvester Stallone. He's like, okay, I'll do it. Then he's like, well, let me rework the script a little bit, so the comedy went out, more action went in. And he even started casting with Stallone involved. So people who were looked at and tested or even cast, people like Lisa Eilbacher, Judge Reinhold, John Ashton, they were tested or hired, and so was Martin Brest, based on Sylvester Stallone starring in it. But then the budget was too much. They said, the budget's too much. Let's get Stallone out. And for what the features say, Stallone was a professional. He's like, oh, okay, that's fine. And the ideas that Stallone came up with, for example, he wanted to change the name of Axel Foley to Axel Cobretti, aka the Motor City Cobra. And of course, you know what I'm talking about. So Stallone's version of this movie, which was more serious, he took some of those ideas and it became Cobra. And you already know how much I love Cobra. I did a long-ass review saying why I love Cobra. So it all worked out fine. I love Cobra, and we got Beverly Hills Cop, which was a gigantic phenomenon of a hit. Eddie Murphy had hits before, like 40 Hours, Trading Places, but nothing as big as this. This is a huge, gargantuan hit. Then, of course, the year later, he makes The Golden Child, which is my favorite. Well, no, maybe not a year later, because I think Golden Child was 86. I think Golden Child was 86. I think it was the next film he made after Beverly Hills Cop, and they're like, it's not as good, and it didn't make as much money, and so now not everyone, but most people shit on it, including Eddie Murphy himself. I'm sorry, The Golden Child kissed the shit out of a lot of movies. Now, I did review that. That's an old review. That's one I might review one time down the road again, because explain why I love it. Hell, I did a review. Look it up. But yeah, this was going to be Stallone, and they got Eddie Murphy. And he fit the part well. I mean, Axel Foley is the role he was born to play. Wisecracking guy from Detroit. He's a cop in Detroit. You have... what can I say about Beverly Hills Cop that hasn't been said? It's funny. I know, from what I understand, a lot of the script became improvisation. I know the director, Martin Brest, he took the job based on a coin flip, so he got lucky with that. I think he was going to do War Games, but then he got let go, so next film he went to was Beverly Hills Cop. Starts off with a great montage and really gets your adrenaline pumping. The heat is on. Da 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 da. The heat is on. Do 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 do. Really gets your adrenaline pumping. Like, all right, we're gonna have some fun. And you see Axel Foley undercover messing with these guys. He's got a cigarette truck. Cops come up. It's like, oh, be crazy. It's so crazy. This truck, it just stopped. It just stopped. And before that hassle about the money, wait. This isn't 5,000. This is 2,000. Well, I'll get you the money later. It's like, no. See, listen to me. $5,000. And of course, the cops get there, blow it, and you have that pretty fun car chase where Eddie Murphy's in the back of this truck that's filled with cigarettes, and the bad guy takes his drive and crashing through multiple fucking cars. Very fun song during that sequence as well. And then, of course, you have Paul Reiser, who's another, I guess you'd call him cop. It's just hard picturing Paul Reiser as a cop, but he's there at the police station. And then Eddie Murphy's boss, which was actually, this guy was a real policeman. Gil Hill as Inspector Douglas Todd. This guy was a real cop. And they go, hey, this guy's pretty good, let's hire him. And again, he was a real cop. Is fucking Foley in here? See if it has the dialogue, because I... Because the dialogue, I mean, the fact that a lot of this was improv really shows what Eddie Murphy was really on his game on this. Really on his game. You know, Todd going, man, tell me where the fuck you come off going undercover with the authorization from me. What the fuck is this all about? You want to play some fucking bullshit, cowboy cop? Go do it in somebody else's precinct. Don't you want to hear my side of the story? What's your fucking side of the story? Let's hear your side of the story. Axel, I'm not taking any more of this shit from you. You know how much this little stunt of yours is going to cost this city? I don't think the cost is the issue here. I think it's the issue. It should be my blatant disregard for proper procedures. You damn right, wise ass. Mayor called the chief. Chief called the deputy chief. The deputy chief just chewed my ass out. You see, I don't have any bit of it left, don't you? Where the fuck do you get a truckload of cigarettes from anyway? From the Dearborn hijacking. From the Dearborn hijacking? That fucking bus went down last week. That truck's supposed to be in the damn pound. And then Paul Reiser getting in it. And then he finishes up with, yeah, I understand, boss. And by the way, the chief ain't chew it all out. You still got a little bit of ass there. Don't fuck with me, Axel. Not now. Go on, go home. And I thought, this guy, considering he wasn't an actor, he did a really good job. He does a good job in the second film. And then the third film, they have to kill him off because they're stupid. But I'll get to that. So he goes to his apartment. There's his buddy there. And that's what we're talking about. It's interesting when this was going to be a stolen film. Like Lisa Eilbacher, she was going to be the love interest. Here, she's just become Eddie Murphy's pal. This one other guy is supposed to be, I think in the original idea, Stallone's brother. Here it's just his pal. I think because the fact this was, all these people were hired for a Stallone film. Like, think about it, even the bad guy. I don't know when the bad guy was hired, but I think it was around when they thought Stallone was. Steven Berkoff. And really enough, he'd be the bad guy in Rambo 2, which would be, I believe, the year later, 85, because this was 84. So, it's kind of interesting how that goes. Sorry about that. I think only Ronny Cox is the only guy that was hired even later, maybe around the same time as Eddie Murphy. But then he finds his buddy there. They go off. You get a little bit of sense that they are friends. Go back to Eddie Murphy's place. Eddie Murphy gets knocked out. You have these two guys. One of them is this guy, actor Jonathan Banks. If you've seen a lot of 80s action movies, you've seen Jonathan Banks. He was at the sort of the beginning of 48 Hours when he's with Nick Nolte and, you know, telling the don't give him your gun. And at the beginning of 48 Hours, he's the one that gets shot. I think he was also in Armed and Dangerous. He was in a film called Free Jack. Jonathan Banks been in a lot of stuff. And they kill Eddie Murphy's buddy. Spectre tells him, just go home. Eddie Murphy goes, well, I want to be on vacation. Finds out that, it's something to do. There's something that leads to Beverly Hills. And he goes to Beverly Hills. And this was great about this character. He's a wise ass, and he talks a lot of shit to get into or out of situations. That's what Axel Foley is. He's the type of guy who's going to talk himself out of situations, talk himself into situations, complete wise ass. And he's very funny because Eddie Murphy, especially this time, was really on the ball. So he goes in this hotel and he uses his wit and his bullshit, sort of bullshit mirror and bullshit way of talking, to bullshit his way through stuff and to get a room. And he's like talking about how you don't have my name on there? Well, I'm with the Rolling Stones or some other paper or magazine, and I'm supposed to interview Michael Jackson. Pretty much just so that he can get a room. And it's funny because he goes, if Michael calls, tell him that I'm here. And then the next scene, you see him walk out. You see two people walking by that has sort of those 80s Michael Jackson type clothes. Hey, Murphy's like, shit, I can't do it. See, that's not the right way to do it. I can't do it right. The Eddie Murphy laugh, which he rarely even does that in movies. It's like he can't do that anymore. Even though it's like, why not? I mean, goes to see his friend Lisa Eilbacher, and both of them knew their pal who died. That's where you get the Serge or Surge with Bronson Pinchot. I think the scene is funny. I do think the scene's a bit overhyped because they really bring that up all the time. I'm like, okay, it's funny, but it's not like the best part of the movie. I think it just chuckles though. he did. He didn't need to be brought back for part 3. Man, I did some chuckles, just like, what's it pertaining? And Eddie Murphy's like, I'm sorry, I didn't understand what you just said. What's it pertaining, meaning? What's it regarding? Oh, what's regarding? Yeah. And it talks about, what's this? And Bronson Pinchot tells the cost, get the fuck out of here. No, I did not. That whole thing. Yeah, I did chuckles out of that. I also did chuckles when he found meets Lisa Eilbacher. He's like, oh, you look good. Yeah. You getting old. And she goes, fuck you. And later on, he meets the Victor Manning? Is that the name of the bad guy? Stephen Berkoff is the actor. He was the bad guy in Rambo 2. Yeah, Victor Maitland. Not Manning. Victor Maitland. And he questions the guy, but then he gets thrown out. That's where you get one of my favorite lines. Because the cops arrest him. And he's like, well, what's the charge? Possessing a gun, because he's a cop, he carries a gun. But they don't know he's a cop yet. And also disturbing the peace. He's like, disturbing the peace, I got thrown out of a window. What's the fucking charge for you to push out of a moving car, huh? Jaywalking? I like that. It's just, he's in the police car. It's like, this is the nicest police car that I've ever been in. It's even nicer than my apartment. Or later on is, can I stay for a while? Because, no, he mentions, I've never been in a cell with a payphone, with a telephone. Can I stay for a while because I ordered some pizza? Well, somebody will eat it. And that's where you get John Ashton and Judge Reinhold. And these two I love these two guys, these two characters. Taggart and Rosewood. I think they're really a good team for Eddie Murphy. And I will admit, one of the reasons I love Beverly Hills Cop, but I will admit, right here, right now, watching these again, this is my favorite. And I'll get to that, but one of the reasons is you get more of this as a team. You really do get them more as a team, which makes sense because they're established in the first film. So that's one of the things I liked, is that you get more of them as a team in that film. But here they still work well in the film. And you also meet Ronny Cox, who's sort of the boss there. Judge Reinhold and John Ashton are supposed to tail Eddie Murphy, and Eddie Murphy needs to get out of there. Get them away from him, so he can do his own investigation. And he actually have an early role with Damon Wayans, because Eddie Murphy needs some bananas, and Damon Wayans is there. It's like, go ahead and take some. And of course, he puts the bananas in the tailpipe. Before that, he got some people to do room service to get some stuff to them, give them dinner, and he puts bananas in the tailpipe, and it fucks up the car. And he goes to his warehouse, which then leads to this bonded warehouse, and he's bullshitting these guys like he's the inspector. And just, again, bullshitting his way. He's like, good, are you the boss? Good, I'm glad I get to talk to you. How is it that a guy dressed like me can walk in here and, this guy even offered me a match. Now, if this guy gave me a match, and the guy's like, you gave him a match? And even when one guy's like, what is this about? And he's like, well, yeah, maybe I get the IRS or what up here and, crawling up your ass. And, is that your brand new car out there? Is that your hot car out there? It's like, I don't know what you take me for. Hurry up, quicker. I mean, I'm doing a poor job, but you've either seen the movie or go watch the movie again. Because Eddie Murphy does it, at this time, does it better. Even when he gets bad, he steers the shit out of Judge Reinhold and John Ashton by sneaking in the car and then slamming and laughing. Laugh. Not the Eddie Murphy laugh, but, just laughing. And then when he finds out that they were docked a couple days' pay because they lost Eddie Murphy, he's like, hey, let me invite you to a place for a drink. I know a place. And you find out it's a strip club. And then that's where Eddie Murphy sees there's these two guys and tells John Ashton, I'm not fucking around here. He pretends to be drunk. Hey, Philip. Hey, Phil. Two guys pull out guns. Eddie Murphy takes one down. John Ashton gets the other one. And that's where you get that. And that's where you get the Eddie Murphy doing this move. Because he looks at them and goes, oh, how the hell did he do that? I can't do it as well as you did. That's what I mean. Eddie Murphy, you could tell he was smiling. He was having fun. He gave a shit. This wasn't a paycheck movie. He had something to prove, so he was going to do it. So you can see him having fun, like having moments like this, and energetic and lively. And even the sequel, I saw that. The third one, it's a different story, which I'll get to. And that's where you get the scene where it talks about, I gotta read this because Axel Foley's story about what happened at the club. Sure, the bullshit. Oh yeah, I remember when there's a scene later on where he goes to a valet and he goes, "Can you put this in a good spot? Because all this shit happened last time I parked here in this beat up car." Let me see. Come on, it's gotta be in here. See, there's a second part. Where's this first part? Sorry, I gotta. Oh, come on, you telling me they don't have that speech? Come on, they gotta have that. Oh, of course, they have the tail end of it. I can't believe it. They don't have the fucking quote on there. But it talks about how these guys, they're super cops, and all they're missing from these guys are capes. And then, of course, they tell the truth, and he goes, before I go, I just want you two to know something, all right? Super cop story was working, okay? It was working. You guys just mess it up, okay? I'm still trying to figure you guys out, but I haven't yet. But it's cool. You fucked up a perfectly good lie, but it's all right. And then he goes and watches Steven Berkoff's house. And the second team comes in because Judge Reinhold and John Ashton has been put to the side for now. And it's like, what are y'all, the second team? And one of them goes, we're the first team. And yeah, we're not going to fall for banana tailpipe. Then he goes, you're not going to fall for the banana tailpipe? You should be more natural, brother. You should flow out like this. Look, man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe. See, that's more natural for us. You've been hanging out with this dude too long. It works better in the movie than I'm doing. It just works. It's fucking hilarious. That's where he goes to follows Steven Berkoff, and that's where you get this spot where he goes, can you park this good spot? All this shit happened last time I parked here. Then he bullshits his way into the party and goes, yeah, I'm looking for Victor Maitland. Yeah, I just need to tell him that he was with this guy and a friend of mine. He has a herpes simplex 10. And and the guy's like, okay, how about you give him that info yourself? And this is a goof up that I noticed. I'm like, why is... Okay, Jonathan Banks comes after Eddie Murphy. All Eddie Murphy does is this, right? Just takes a guy and does this. And then the guy flies off flies over this table. But when you watch Eddie Murphy do that, you can plain as day see it's not Eddie Murphy. Like you see, when you see this, you see the guy there. I'm like, that's not Eddie Murphy. In fact, it looks like fucking Richard Pryor. What's Richard Pryor doing there? Oh shit, that's Eddie Murphy's stunt double? But it's not a stunt because he didn't do the stunt. All he did was this. Like if this is a guy, he's like if this is a camera, he does like this, and the guy flies off, and then you see the guy's face. If you look at the guy's face, it's like, oh shit, it's Richard Pryor. I'm like, that's a really obvious goof fuck up. Like, no one noticed this? I don't understand that at all. Gets arrested again. The permits tell him you gotta get out of town. Eddie Murphy convinces Judge Reinhold to help him out. And that's where you get into your finale, where they follow this one place. Lisa Eilbacher, Eddie Murphy, Judge Reinhold. Eddie Murphy and Lisa Eilbacher go in. They get stopped by the bad guys. They take Lisa Eilbacher away. They're beating up Eddie Murphy. Judge Reinhold comes in, shoots one, helps Eddie Murphy. They get in, follow to Stephen Berkoff's place. There's John Ashton. Judge Reinhold saying, no, there's a woman in there. I'm going in. John Ashton reluctantly does it, gets a shotgun. They go in. Fight with the bad guys. Yeah, the little slapstick scene where Reinhold and Ashton are trying to get over the wall. And even Eddie Murphy sees it and he's laughing about it. Other cops know about this now. They get there. Eddie Murphy shoots Jonathan Banks. And both him and Ronny Cox shoot Stephen Berkoff. And yeah, the fun line where the boss that's above Ronny Cox goes, it's like, what's this man doing here? Bleeding, sir. Thought that was a perfect line from Eddie Murphy. What are you doing? What's this man doing here? Bleeding, sir. I thought he pulled off that line really well. Goes back off, says, hey, how about you guys follow me for one last drink? You know, trust me. And then you have, what's that song? Do-do-do-do. Ba-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Of course, you had Neutron Dance by the Pointer Sisters. You had New Attitude and Stir It Up by Patti LaBelle. And of course, The Heat Is On by Glenn Frey. Great soundtrack. And of course, how could I not mention Harold Faltermeyer's score and the Axel F theme? One of the great, memorable themes in movies. No, the Axel F theme works very well done. I mean, I know we're going for a half hour, but I mean, this is a movie that I really have no problems with. It's funny, it's entertaining. Eddie Murphy is on the ball. Great soundtrack. Score by Harold Faltermeyer is solid. Axel F theme. The other cast, Lisa Eilbacher, Judge Reinhold, John Ashton, Stephen Berkoff, Ronny Cox. They all work well. Memorable lines of dialogue. Some good action scenes. I mean, the opening chase scene with the Eddie Murphy in the back and this like semi just going through car after car after car. I mean, is the shootout at the end the most elaborate? No. I mean, I'd probably say I like the shootout in the second film a bit more. But it fit what it had to do. You know, someone said that the first film's more comedy than action, the second film's more action than comedy. But I still enjoy both films. I think both films are great, and I'll get more into Beverly Hills Cop 2. But hey, it's funny, it's entertaining, it's a solid flick. Great chemistry between these three guys. They work very well together. And I don't know what more I can say. Just Really enjoy this film. Love this movie. One of my favorite Eddie Murphy films. Definitely be in my top 5 of Eddie Murphy films. Beverly Hills Cop. What more can I say? It's a classic. I don't really have any problems with it. The DVD, I think, is pretty decent DVD. Commented by Martin Brest. You have about half an hour of interviews. But you could tell they didn't get Eddie Murphy back because he appears like twice during it. And then at the end, if you read, when before the featurette or whatever shuts off, they do like these little credits. You see like a tiny credit where it's like footage of Eddie Murphy from 20th Century Fox. I'm going, what 20th Century Fox movie? Like, so this is like probably questions he was asked while promoting another film. So Eddie Murphy did not do a new interview for this because it was footage from 20th Century Fox. It's like, okay, they just took one or two bits from something previous. Which I'm like, come on, Eddie Murphy, why the fuck won't you talk about this movie? At least a new interview. But you do get John Ashton, Judge Reinhold, Ronny Cox, Martin Brest, Jared Barkheimer, because the other producer, Don Simpson, has passed away. The writers, the guy who came with the story, Danilo Bach and Daniel Petrie Jr., which apparently they were nominated for an Oscar, but if they were nominated for an Oscar, and yet most of the script was improvised by Eddie Murphy and the company, shouldn't Eddie Murphy and them deserve the Oscar nomination instead of these writers? Because if they didn't write most of the shit, I mean, they're credited, but if they didn't write most of the shit, then why did they get the nomination? Well, it's because their name's on it, but they don't really deserve it if it was Eddie Murphy and them improvising most of the film, but hey. Anyway, Beverly Hills Cop, classic movie, fun film, and it's understandable why it was a big hit. The beats the shell of comedies and action films and action comedies of today. So, thanks for watching, take care, and stay tuned for the review of the sequel later.